Alright, welcome back to the Budget Reef. So today we're just taking a look at the tank, and as you can see I've got a ton of zinnia coming out. Everybody's looking decent. I just moved these 3 leather corals. They keep shutting up on me and I don't know what's going on because I have my other ones that open up and are all nice and happy. The salinity's right about 1.25, and I'm going to check it again. And I've been selling some of my green mushroom corals, but my next water change, I think I'm going to do a 10-gallon water change and try to take out as much of this zinnia as possible because it's just growing like a freaking weed, y'all. It's all over the dang place. So be careful if you get this specific type of zinnia. It is pretty much a weed. It will grow everywhere in your tank, which is good and bad, right? Because the fish like to hide in it, and it makes them feel a little bit more secure and whatnot. And I keep getting this happening to my oldest clownfish where he'll get a swollen eye, but you never know. It could be that spiny urchin right there, because they'll kind of poke at them and try to push them away when they're in their spot. They like to nest mainly right in this area. That's where they call home. But yeah, that's really my only problem in here is the amount of zinnia I have growing on everything, and I really need to try to get it under control. I've thought about adding an angelfish or something like that to see if I could get something to peck at it and knock it back. But if y'all have any good ideas or experiences with controlling zinnia other than pulling it out with a siphon or something, let me know in the comments. I greatly appreciate it. And make sure you like and subscribe so you can join me on the journey. If y'all have questions about your own tanks or anything I can help you with, the number one thing I'm going to say that helps you in a tank is making an area for a refugium. And that really helps with stabilizing the phosphates that show up in our tanks after time, and after feeding your tank over and over again. It's a great way of removing it. So anyway, thanks for checking it out again today. I know I haven't had any new products really, but man, I'm telling you, the ones I've got are pretty good. I mean, as you can see, this Powerhead is still going. I think I paid like 10 or 12 bucks for it. Same with my my flow diversity right here that helps change up the flow in the tank. And you do have to take them off and clean them every once in a while to make sure they're spinning and whatnot. But I've got a ton of fish in here. I've got at least 3 gobies, 2 clowns, 1 chromis, 1 damsel, 2 cardinal fish, 2 different species, a 6-line wrasse, and a Tamini tang, which I call Timmy because he's a crazy guy. And I think I have a pistol shrimp too. I haven't seen them in a while, but they all come out during feeding and whatnot. And this giant clam here, which when I got him, he was probably like this big, and he is definitely grown in. So they're great to have, having clams, because it's another filtration aspect to your tank, constantly pulling things out of the water column, debris, food debris and whatnot. But yeah, tank is doing well. We're looking happy. My Viparspectra, whatever, Viparspectra, I don't know how you call it, but they're great lights. I highly recommend them. I'll have everything linked in the description for if you're trying to set up a new system. I bought this tank off of Facebook Marketplace, and I got it used. And I will say a downside to having a used tank is you do have the potential of your silicone leaking, but I found a fix for that. I had a video up talking about that, but I took it down because I just didn't want to mislead anybody too hard. Because I used a roofing sealant that I have, and people were like, oh, it's going to nuke your tank. Didn't nuke my tank. Everybody's doing fine. But it did not hold well after I used that, so I took it down. And what I ended up using was some coral glue down in this corner over here is where I suspected the leak. Or I had something else messing up in the tank, such as my ATO was shooting water out, and thus it was showing up at the bottom of the tank. I don't know, because I was inspecting it and watching my ATO, and I saw that my ATO was kind of flicking out some water but when I tasted it, it was salty. So I don't know. Anyway, the coral glue did it the best in an odd way. But yeah, check him out. My 6-line wrasse getting some food. I love that though, where they can get up in there. There's a feather duster in here, I believe, but he is currently covered in zinnia, if he's still around. I need to look over here. I gotta pull all this stuff out and start taking it to the store or something. It's crazy. I've had the fish store deny my zinnia. They're like, we don't want that. I'm like, damn it. I've got so much of it, you sure? But it is cool. I love the reef. It's my reef. It's a little overcrowded, but it's a great system. I love the tank. And if you're not reefing, you should be if you have a yearning for it. They can be a huge headache. The more dialed in your system is for SPS, such as you have ways of making the water really stable using dosing pumps and you measuring the water. I'm not that great at it. I have never bought a dosing pump, and you can water change it for consistency, but you know, on a tank like this, if you were to do 10% of 90 gallons, that's at least 10 gallons a week. And I don't want to spend that much. So call me lazy, whatever. I'm a lazy reefer, so be it. But the tank does well. I try to focus mainly on softies and leathers. And right now, just a heads up, on the light power that I'm running, it's like, I think I have it at like 60s, yeah, 50% right now on blue. And channel 2 is right at 50% as well. So I was trying to run it lower because I wanted to see if I got a better response out of the corals rather than running it at 100%. I don't have any really heavy, light demanding corals right now. I guess the biggest thing that wants the most light is my clam, but he's doing great. And you can see the new growth. Anytime you see white on the shell is where new calcium is being pulled out of the water column. And he pretty much slows down his growth based on how many water changes I'm doing per week. So, I mean, or, you know, per month. Because I usually only do about 5 gallons every 2 or 3 weeks, which is pretty light on the water changes. But my refugium does a ton of the work. As you can see down here, I mean, I've just got tons of algae, and what I do is when I start pulling this stuff out, that's part of my water change, and then it regrows back in. I pull more out, and it's Chaeto and Caulerpa are the 2 macroalgae I'm currently using on my system. And yeah, see, I even got zinnia and mushrooms down in there in my sump, and it's working, all right? Like, you can judge me all you like, but this tank's at least 10 years old. These guys are, my clownfish are. This whole tank setup's only about probably about 5 years old for this 90 gallon. But back in my BioCube, I had at least these clowns, and they're my main ones that have made it. I think everybody else has kind of moved on, unfortunately, because that's just the nature of a tank. You know, you have fish make it and they disappear, and you're like, where the hell did my fish go? You know, so, and some will somehow find a way to jump in between that space between my baffle right here and jump right into that middle section. And I've only had 1 or 2 fish actually do that, but man, I'll have a blenny in here and he'll be fat and happy, and then they'll just disappear, you know. And all I can imagine is that he turned into somebody's lunch, you know, like someone got him, or I've got a freaking bobbit worm somewhere here. I don't think I do, but I don't even have any bristle worms, which is surprising, but I've had a ton of different wrasses in here that do hunt those guys down and really do a great job of removing pests. And that 6-line wrasse is pretty much my best pest control fish. Don't add a second one to the tank, because I was hopeful that I could maybe get a pair to live together. Didn't work out. That fish definitely got effed up by the other one. And by effed up, I just mean he got really frazzled. There you go. No bad words. Just trying to keep the good words, all right? But, and if you don't have one of these mag scrapers, the Higer mag scraper, you should get one. They're good. I love this thing. I literally just keep it in the tank. And anytime I want to clean the glass, I pull them out and just get them cleaned. And you can buy new blades and attachments to that, so if they get rusty or bad, it's easy to replace. Which it doesn't. It just sits in this tank pretty much 24/7 at this point. Anyway, I appreciate y'all checking out my channel today. This is just a brief overview of how the tank is doing. I'll give you some products. I know my freaking lights look absolutely disgusting, dude, but you can't really see that. And usually the canopy is closed. The main part that I focus on is my display. So anyway, I appreciate you hanging in there, subbing up, liking my videos. And if you don't like them, have a nice day. And don't forget to have the door hit you on the way out. All right? We love you here. And we'll see you later. I hope everybody's reef is just kicking butt. And have a wonderful day.